Okay, everything is nice and glued down, so all my pages are looking nice and firm. So now all we need to do is sort of mat the different areas. All of the full pages, including the cover and the back, are just going to take a 6x6 piece of paper. So on the flip outs, that will take a 6x6. When you open them up and you have a full page, that will take a 6x6 that will go in place. Now, you'll have two other mats that you'll need to do. The place where you have the pocket, that's where you're going to use the ones where you cut a single piece of paper, one into 3 1/4 inches and one to 2 1/2. And I like to use just two different pieces, of pattern, I mean. So the larger one is going to go on the left-hand portion of the pocket, well, I guess on the bigger one, and then the smaller one goes next to it, just like that. So you're going to mat those on the pockets. And then we had that one piece of paper that we cut out of the same pattern at 3 1/4 by 5 5/8. That one is going to go on this freestanding sort of pocket that we have. It's smaller than the other areas. It's not quite 6 1/4 inches. And I like to make it the same pattern. You certainly don't have to. You could make it different ones on each side. So that one is going to go on that freestanding flap kind of on either side of it, and that will be our freestanding kind of pocket that we have. So I'm going to mat all of the, or I'm going to add the pattern paper to all of those and glue them down. Now there's one thing to be aware of before you mat. I also like to do the front and the back with the same pattern piece, so I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this one as the pattern piece here for the front and back, just like this. So I'll have it like that. What I don't want you to do is on this first page, when I open this up and I have a flap, don't put your 6x6 piece of paper here yet. Reserve whichever piece of pattern paper you're going to put here. Just put it to the side and don't actually glue it down. The reason we are going to do that is because once we have our piece of pattern paper here, we're going to add our brad on this outside, which is where we'll tie it closed. And the brad will come through here. We'll be able to put the metal sort of wings down, and then we'll be able to cover it with our piece of pattern paper, so you won't be able to see them. So don't put your piece of pattern paper down there yet. And we haven't talked about what's going to go over here. So we'll do that last yet, so don't worry about that yet. That's still coming up. We'll do this flap and the remainder, this sort of binding, as our last steps here. But for now, you can go and add all of the pattern pieces to the different areas. Now, I'm not going to film that because all it is just I'm going to put it down and glue it down, and that's it. And then we'll be back after that.